First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Uh, yeah, I know you real happy about it. We all happy for you too.
Got that degree.
Yep, got the degree.
That's the biggest part. That's the biggest part.
Yeah, got that paper.
Yep. But we're just gonna start off like this. So, why Georgetown?
Chose Georgetown when I was being recruited. I had a lot of mid majors, and then a lot of Ivy Leagues, and then some high majors like Seton Hall and Xavier. And then when Georgetown was my last offer, bro just had offered me right after the last tournament in Vegas. So when Georgetown came in, it was kind of like the best of both worlds with academics and high level basketball. And then my mom grew up in DC, my family's still in DC, so it's kind of like home away from home.
Yeah, where your mom grew up at?
Northeast, on Peabody. She actually went to, I want to say, Notre Dame. It was an all-girls school. I think it was called Notre Dame. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. She live off Peabody. I live in Northwest. I know exactly where she live at.
Yeah. I was actually just there last week. That's where I was staying at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you really got some DC roots for real. That's why
Something like that. I wasn't there a lot, but I used to visit my grandmother from time to time.
Okay. All right, cool.
Sure.
How do you feel about graduating during this time? Probably some of the craziest time in American history, honestly, between COVID and then the racial situation that plagues African Americans, communities nationwide. How do you feel about that?
Graduating, I mean, it was a big accomplishment for me, but it hurt not being able to walk across the stage. But I kind of felt more for the people that were like first generation graduates. That's kind of a big deal for them. So seeing them that they weren't able to walk across the stage as well, that's kind of tough to see. And then going off the racial thing, I don't know, it's kind of a lot of things at once. It kind of like all hit with a domino effect, starting with Kobe's death, and then just everything going downhill from there. So it's been tough, but it is what it is. You gotta keep moving forward in life. So I just been trying to just stay focused on what I can do, control what I can control, and just be ready when it's time for me to head out.
So just to backtrack a little bit, you in your senior year, man, and I watched you. First of all, you number 4, so I'm very proud of what you did and how you represented that number 4. After me was DSR, and then you came in right after that. So the number 4 is strong. I be trying to tell him he wore 15 and all these other dudes. We got the strongest number. Everybody rocks number 4. That's just how it goes because we the heart and soul. That's just how we are. We represent. I'm just saying, Free.
I appreciate that. It means a lot. It means a lot for sure.
For real. Hell yeah. So, so now you're in your senior year. You want to leave your mark, and you're a winner because I checked you out, and you always been a winner. It's your senior year. You coming down to the end of the season. It's Big East play, right? And y'all season stops. What's your thought process at that time?
You mean after the Big East tournament?
So did you play the Big East tournament? Y'all played the Big East tournament?
We played the first night. It was crazy. I can't even believe how it ended. We was up 10 with like 6 minutes. I think Terrell came down with a cramp, and then they went on like a 23-0 run, like out of nowhere. So then after that, to like a short story, we went back to the hotel. Since we had a late game, we left the next morning. And like it still didn't even feel real just heading back to DC. And then I'm on the bus. I remember I fell asleep the whole ride for like 3-4 hours.
Right.
I woke up and they said the St. John's and Marquette game was canceled at halftime.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was weird. I mean, our season was already over, but I feel as if it would have hurt even more if like we had beat St. John's, and then Korean was also they were missing a starting point guard, so it would have been a plus for us. We probably would have been beating them too. And then if our season ended at that point, it would have hurt way more. Just to know that we probably would have needed 2 more wins to make it to the tournament after that.
Right.
And, yeah, but it still feel like a movie for real.
Right, but at the time you was just the season was really over at that point.
Yeah, season was over. We was already heading back to DC, and then just to see everything go downhill, it was still kind of crazy.
Right. Yeah, I got another question. So I was reading up, and I didn't notice, man. I didn't notice. I did notice when you came in, but I didn't notice. Let's stop back. Let's go back to high school a little bit.
All right.
So you attend St. Anthony. You started all 4 years?
I started my freshman year, like the first 3-4 games. Then I came off the bench like 6 man. Rest of that year, sophomore year. And then junior, senior year started, yeah.
Okay. Your senior year, y'all 32-0. You're number 4 in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, you win states.
Facts.
Undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Austin Freeman's team, DeMatha, I think was probably the toughest team that I've ever seen in high school basketball at DeMatha.
Okay.
So I just want to understand, so I can understand what type of team, because I be shaky on some of y'all dudes that came after me in y'all classes. I don't know about everybody, so I want to understand who was on y'all team. Do y'all have any big name players on your team? I know you was there.
St. Anne's, probably the biggest name was probably R.J. Cole. He was a junior though, so we had like 8 seniors. He went to Howard. He was MEAC Player of the Year 2 years ago because he just
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
So he at UConn now. So he was there with me. We had Javaris Hayes. He actually came off the bench for us, but he went D2 at Merrimack, and they was D1 this year, and they won their league, but they couldn't play in the postseason. And I think he like the all-time leading steals at his school, or it might be in NCAA for real.
Right.
But it was a team full of seniors, so like they labeled me as the leader because I was on the team as a freshman, but it really wasn't hard to lead because we all had one goal. You know, at St. Anne's, it's unheard of to go 4 years without winning state chip. So my first 3 years, we lost to Malachi Richardson my freshman year, and then Isaiah Briscoe my sophomore, junior year, and then senior year we won it finally.
So just in terms of, I don't know if you checked it out, the PG County in the Water documentary.
Yeah. And
it was basically trying to emphasize about how PG County basketball is just a breeding ground for top players.
Facts.
And I would have to agree with that. But I want to get your opinion on what you thought of New Jersey basketball since you was in it at an elite level all the way through and through. What's your opinion on New Jersey basketball and the progress that it's made, or if it has?
It's different. It's probably up there with PG. It's not a lot of different cities or states that breed basketball like Jersey, the DMV, Cali, Texas, stuff like that. So I think Jersey's up there. Jersey, New York. What pros
y'all got? What pros y'all got from Jersey?
Right now in the league, we got Kyrie, Kyle Anderson. That might be the top 2 off rip. Isaiah Briscoe was in the league, but I think he might be going overseas again.
Who?
Isaiah Briscoe. He was on Magic last year.
He's going back overseas, I think.
Yeah. So those KA and Kyrie are probably the top 2. Malachi too, but he's overseas again too. So.
They got a lot of overseas pros though.
Yeah.
A lot of overseas pros. Jordan Theodore, he was our era.
Mm-hmm.
From. Then the Gibbs, all the Gibbs brothers and all them, they all played somewhere. New Jersey basketball is strong, man. Mm-hmm. New Jersey basketball is strong, and it's always been strong. I just wanted to know how do you feel it ranks compared to other? Is that like, I know it was always, y'all had to battle with New York, you had to battle with Philly and stuff like that. How was that growing up? Were y'all seen as like the little brother? You know what I'm saying? Or y'all
I'm biased, so you ask someone from New York, they can give you the same answer.
Right.
Give you the same answer. So I'm biased, but I'm always put Jersey over the tri-state, Connecticut, and New York. So
over the tri-state, that's just a biased opinion, or is that a real opinion? Is that a bias? Come on, be real. Don't be saying it because we know you certified, you stamped in Jersey. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. Be real. Is Jersey the best in the tri-state area?
Yes.
Oh man.
Hey, but look. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all know Miles Mack?
Yeah.
Y'all know he did to the Mather?
I don't know what he did.
Yes, actually, he went off on the math at the Hall.
He outscored him in 3 quarters on ESPN. I was at that game. I was in 8th grade.
At the Hall of Fame Classic, he went off. He went off. But what that mean? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
That's part of my argument. That's part of my argument right there.
I don't know, man.
You can back all this, y'all.
Hey, I mean, I would just throw it out there. His team was the top team, 32-0. Y'all weren't 32-0, but y'all were great every year. The math that I'm talking about.
That team with Miles and Kyle was crazy.
Who?
Miles Mack, Kyle Anderson.
Yeah,
they beat Michael Kidd-Gilchrist in the national chip that year.
And St. Pat's, right?
Yeah,
right.
They sold out Rutgers.
Wow.
High school game.
High school game, crazy. See, but that's how it was for me and Free. No, I'm not even trying to flex on you. That's how it was for regular season games for me and Free. Our games was at colleges for regular season. Our senior year, the whole joint, it was sold out everywhere. Our junior year was the last time we played
In
at
actual
our gyms. In college, senior year of high school, we played at Gallaudet. We played at Trinity. We played at I think that might have been the only two places because the tournament was at. Oh, then we played at American University.
Okay.
The American University. That's
who was your best matchup that your senior year of high school?
DeMatha. I mean, they smacked. Yo, they had like 8 D1s, son. Like real talk. I played for my freshman year. I started since my freshman year. My sophomore year, they had like 10 D1 players, and the 10th man ended up wind up playing them in college. He went to Radford and was leading the league in scoring.
And he barely played on my high school.
And he barely touched the court in high school.
That's how it be. You just end up in the right situation, and you know you can move.
Yo, he ain't touched the court. He wasn't even on the scouting report. And when we played him in college, that's all they was talking about. It was crazy. That's how they was with the Mathis. So, and my team, we had me and this other dude that played broad. But other than that, it was just regular dudes. You know what I'm saying? Somebody play football, somebody play baseball. Another dude don't play nothing. He just trying to talk to some girls, you know. That's how he just trying to be out there. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody got them high school teammates that just trying to get on.
For sure.
You know? But yeah, that's cool though.
High school's done. You committed to Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
What are 3 goals that you set for yourself when after committing to Georgetown?
Well, first and foremost, make the NCAA tournament. I think when I was a senior, they went 15-18. So but we still had a talented roster. So I feel as it was still reachable. That was one. I guess second one would be to start. Coming in, I think it was me, John Moore, and TC were the 3 guards. And as I like JT3 because like he didn't come in with a set starting lineup. He gave everyone equal opportunity to earn their minutes. So I came in level-headed. I came in confident, just playing my game, and I was granted the starting position my freshman year. And third, I would say I'm not really too big on individual awards, but I guess Big East freshman team, but I feel that it don't really mean nothing unless you get Big East Player of the Year or like 6th Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, stuff like that. I feel like freshman team. I mean, my freshman class was crazy, but other freshman classes aren't really that crazy. So,
who was in your freshman class?
You had Miles, you had Marcus Howard, you had all the seniors that was killing this year. Tyreek Jones.
Miles Powell, God.
Yeah.
Bro, I watched that game, and I watched the game at Georgetown.
Which one? You went crazy. He loved playing in DC. He keep telling me that he said he loved the DC Nets. I'm like, I can tell, bro.
I don't know what it was, bro. And I was overseas. My dad and my brother was at the game.
Okay.
And they were just explaining. They was like, yo, your man Jagan is all over this dude, but he's raising up and cashing out. Like, it's
first play of the game, he got the ball, one dribble, left hand, hezzy, shoots from like 3 inches behind the NBA line.
Cash.
I don't know where it came from. I'm like, what are you on? Like, because I always, we played at AU together, so
right.
I always talk to him after the game. So I'm like, why are you doing this? He's like, bro, I just love the DC Nets.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he's when he played against us, it was like his, he was trying to make a highlight tape in DC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was. I like that Seton Hall team this year though. That's interesting. What's up? Why never Seton Hall for you?
See, that's the thing. So I feel like every player different. So for me, college, when I started college, I never wanted to stay home for whatever reason. So
right.
I was offered by Seton Hall, Rutgers, before Rutgers was Knights in the Big Ten. And like Princeton, but for me, I never really wanted to stay home. So, at first I really wanted to go far. I wanted to go to Cali because, Stanford was recruiting me too. But my mom, my parents didn't want me to go that far. So I figured 4 hours was close enough, but, far enough at the same time.
Something I think that's important, and me and Free was talking about this, that is important to understand about you, is that Jagan was a valedictorian in high school.
Cold. I ain't gonna take all the credit. I was cold about it.
It don't matter. You got that stamp. You got he's valedictorian at schools. Please let people know the schools that you were recruited by to go to school, the Ivy League schools.
Stanford, not Ivy League, but Stanford was one. Harvard, Princeton, Columbia. Yeah, schools like that.
And you didn't want to. I know your parents was like, Jagan.
Actually, funny story. I told this is probably like a month before I committed to Georgetown. I told my dad, so I think I want to go to Harvard. And then
Yeah.
he maybe still there for like a day or two. But I got two parents because Ivy don't give out scholarships unless like you need it. So they weren't giving me a full scholarship. So I didn't want to make my parents pay for school. So
Right.
yeah.
And they had and their basketball team was nice.
Yeah, I was talking to Bryce. I was talking to Set Town. We was in a group chat. We
Right.
put it together, and then
Right.
I had committed to Georgetown. I actually forgot to tell him I was going to commit, but everything happened so fast. But yeah.
Right. So was that Amaker? Was Amaker coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, Amaker was the coach. They had a mob. Was Brian DeStefano on the staff?
What's his name?
Brian DeStefano.
I don't sound familiar. The main recruiter was Chris
Webster.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris from the crib. He from here.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. He was happy when I went to Georgetown, but he obviously wanted me at Harvard too. But
Right. He at VTech now, I think. He was at VTech with Buzz.
Yeah.
Dang, man. So yeah, I don't know, bro. Like I know when I was getting recruited, I don't know about you, Free. So University of Southern California called my this is back when they called it the house phone. You know what I'm saying? It's back. It's 2005 or something. They called it the house phone, and my mother picked up the phone, and she on the phone with Tim Floyd, head coach at this time. I think it was maybe going into my senior year. And just the fact, I was like, dang, Cali be nice, you know what I'm saying? Over there on the other side, the weather crazy, and y'all might never see me again. You feel me? Like, that's how I was thinking. Dog, when my mother found out that it was not South Carolina, and it was really University of Southern California, she hung up on Tim Floyd.
Word.
Just like that. Oh, my baby not going over there. Boom, hung up. I'm like, yo. So, so for me, it wasn't even an option to trying to go out west. But if Stanford would have called, oh my God, I don't know. I think I might have had to jump at that.
Yeah, I was trying to. They never gave me an offer though. It was a strong entrance. So
man, if Stanford offer, I don't know if I would have qualified. You was valedictorian, so you was kind of, you know what I'm saying. I don't even know what stratosphere you was at. You was in like clubs and all that.
Nah, it was just I ain't gonna lie. St. Anne's when it was open, it wasn't even hard. So when I got to Georgetown, it was a real wake up call. Where I was like, I really gotta like study and do work. So I was struggling when I first got to Georgetown for sure.
Speak on it, cause I got stories about how I was struggling at Georgetown.
Cause I was in the business school, so it was only on the basketball team. It was only me and Caleb Johnson. So he was the only person that could really help me. He was struggling too. Like we was in the same boat. But it was
I'm explaining to you what struggling was for me.
All right.
So I had the intro to social. You do all your intro classes your first semester freshman year.
Yes.
You doing all your. Did you do scholars?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
Did they have scholars?
They didn't let. When I was a freshman, they didn't let basketball players in it. But like I had friends in the scholars, but I wasn't.
Oh, you didn't get to do scholars, bro. Oh man, scholars.
Scholars during the summer, man. God.
Yo, scholars is basically it's like coming to summer school before the school year start. You know what I'm saying?
I was in summer school, but I just wasn't in the spot. Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got acclimated through scholars and scholars program. Everybody used to go to scholars. That was the thing. Like the players, if you was with us, you would have came in and you were in the scholars program. Okay. It was cool though, but it just that I used to have like crazy amount of work, and then in the summertime the workout schedule is crazy. With the type of workouts you gotta do. So it was just. Anyway, so first semester freshman year, right? I'm in this intro to sociology class with, I can't remember the dude's name. We got to write a paper on some intro joint, write a paper. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm prepared. I went to St. John's. Let me really try to finesse this, and put my work, let these dudes know I'm out here. You feel me? It's my first paper in college. This is true. This is facts. First paper in college. Did all the work. I actually was studying. Did the research. Man, I turned this 10-page paper in.
10 pages.
10 pages. And I was better at writing papers than taking tests. I can write papers. That's my strength. Man, I turned this 10-page paper. I got it back like the next week. Every page had a big X on it. Every page, big red X. Wrong. Every page, bro. I'm on the first joint.
But like, wow, what was the teacher saying?
He just was like question mark on everything I was writing. What do you mean by this? I'm like, dang, I'm in a whole nother whole nother world. And, you know, so that was my first introduction. That's what I mean by speak on it. If you really had trouble.
Let me think. So paper. Let me think. I think my first class I had troubles in was calculus or review. So Miss Kim, I don't know if she was there. Or not there. Miss Kim.
Miss Kim came right after us. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she asked me like, you want to do regular calculus or calculus with review? I'm like, I did calculus in high school, but it wasn't for real. So let me do the one with review. So it was like a little slower.
Yeah.
I think my report card in high school was all A's. I never really got a B plus or B minus. First class I got like a C minus. I'm like, whoa.
I'd have been hyped.
Borderline.
Straight up, I'd have been geeked. I would have called my mama, yo, ma, I got a C. I might even like fake them, like, yo, I got a B minus or something. That's what I told my mother.
Yeah,
you know, your report card.
I had to tell my parents, and they had to start lowering the bar of expectation for me throughout. So
yeah,
I graduated 3.0 somehow, but
right.
I was in that 2.7, 2.5 range for a minute.
Man, but shout out to you, man, because it's important that people understand that you can be a student athlete and strive in both, you know, and you showed that through your whole career, high school, college, I'm sure, and grade school, you're the same way as well. So that's important, man. And people don't understand how difficult it is. Some people it comes naturally easy to, and I kind of get the feeling that school was naturally easy for you. I don't think that you had too many struggles with it, but people take for granted how tough it is to be a real college athlete, student athlete, and excel in both. So
especially at Georgetown.
Man, right? And, you know, like one of the classes I took, dog, I never forget the name of this class. The name of the class was Roman Catholic Medieval Philosophy. Exactly. And it was and you had to read like 80 pages a night, 80 to 100 pages a night, and you had to come and have a conversation, and then you had a midterm and a final, and that was it. It wasn't nothing else.
Okay. I'll go.
No. Probably the hardest class I've ever had at Georgetown had to be like art history. Art history is by far the hardest class I've ever had.
History? What was like? How was it set up?
No, it's like they put a picture up. You gotta know the year, who did it, what was his like, I guess his mindset behind that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a midterm, and then you had a final, and you had to like memorize them joints from like the first day to like the midterm, and then like from the midterm you got to remember a bunch of pictures to the last day in the semester. Though that joint might have been one of the hardest joints I've ever had.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not good at that. I'm better with numbers.
Like, man,
yeah. See, I'm good with common sense. That's what I'm good at. Mm-hmm. So if it's like, and I'm gonna say like Austin, I thought the toughest class you was gonna say was that gender role class. I thought you were gonna say that class.
No, it wasn't. The gender role class wasn't too bad. You know, the only thing about that was that I was the only guy in the class with all women. So
right.
Me in the class, I kind of like not shy, but like just didn't want to say the wrong thing sometimes because I was the only guy in there, and then everybody attacked me in the class.
Everybody jumping on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also it in that class, but you know, it wasn't too bad.
So I want to ask you this. All right, to the next question. So you just said that you finished your college career, and I commend you in your career. I wish you would have scored more, though. That's just me personally. I really wish you would have scored.
A lot of people would tell me that.
Yeah, because you had that ability to score, you know. But you was such a team player and so for the group that, I mean, it worked both ways.
Was that like when I came as a freshman, I looked around. I had OJ, I had Rodney, Marcus, Jesse, Brad. So it was like I didn't need to score my freshman year.
True.
It was easy to facilitate.
Right.
And then sophomore year, I think I averaged by like 8 or 7 because our team wasn't that good. And then junior year is when like my playing time diminished, and it was kind of hard to get into a flow of a game when you're going in like going in like 7 minutes at a time. So then senior year, it was easy because I'm playing like 38, 40 minutes a game. I got time for the game to come to me, and then I can pick my spots easier. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just think that you were different. You were different than most guys because you were a calming force on there, but you had the ability to make some electric plays. You're throwing on somebody quick. Mm-hmm. You're dunk on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I just be like, oh shit, Jagan ain't playing on these dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what
I call a lot of people in practice, a lot of shot blockers I call it.
Yeah, I call it free too. He never want to admit it. I dunked on him in the Kenner League. He don't want to admit it. I dunked them. Yo,
Jagan,
Jagan,
say
dunked them in summer
he just
league.
be talking sometimes. If you can see, he just be talking. He ain't never
Body bagged him. He ain't even really want to say nothing after that. He ain't want to be cool with me. We ain't go to the room together after that.
Never
Nothing.
happened. No, there's something about you, number fours, man. You know, you guys are very gritty. You guys are tough. You guys
We
are,
tough. Yeah, it's the culture.
I got a long list.
Some number four, Jack. I'm not saying it's you.
Uh-huh.
Just be talking bullshit sometimes. So don't.
Free. I dunked you, dog. I don't care what you saying. Like you was in the vicinity and you put your hand up and I dunked you. Basically.
Don't listen to that shit, man. Next question.
So overall, now you finished your career and you had a great career and you choose to go to Hungary.
Right.
Don't take a dab in the G League. Don't even worry about the draft. You just off the board.
Yeah. There's too much uncertainty.
And that's a great mindset there. You're a smart dude, man. Take what you can get right now.
Right.
Because you know the years is going to keep following behind that.
Right. Because, I mean, the way I was looking at it, you know, it was no secret. I wasn't on no draft boards, you know. The only way I was going to build stock was, you know, pre-draft workouts, you know, summer league, stuff like that. So all that out the picture was just, you know, just get my first season out the way, get some experience, and come back and try again with summer league next year.
And get some bread.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Right. And get some bread. Man, that's major. I'm glad you're thinking. That's forward thinking. A lot of people just thinking about, you know, trying to get to the NBA right now in its current state. And in a lot of ways it's similar to this year is very similar to the year that me and Free came out. Because when we graduated was NBA lockout.
Okay.
So there wasn't anything. There wasn't even an opportunity that down the line or 2 months later it was going to have summer league and nothing like that. They had the draft. Mm-hmm. Then after the draft, the next day, everything shut down for like 6 months. No communication.
Zero.
Like nothing. So when that happens, everybody's jetting overseas. You know what I'm saying? All these NBA, Darren Williams is going overseas. Ty Lawson is going overseas. That was the year when they had the crazy, people that didn't go overseas that stayed home. LeBron and they was having the crazy summer games and all that stuff. That was that summer. There was nothing going on. So if you get a deal, like that's how I was thinking like you. I'm like, shit, if something come across the table, I'm signing right now because they eating these deals up left and right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I feel you, man. And just off of past experience, I think that's the best move. You know?
I appreciate that. Yeah, my agent was like, just get it out the way, and then you know the whole summer I don't gotta worry about it. I can just worry about just focusing on getting better. So
yeah.
Chris, I got a question, and this is more so for you, Chris, for Jagan. So this is gonna be Jagan's first year out in Hungary. Mm-hmm. Any advice for him going out there?
First off, this is a conversation that we need to have off the camera. That's the first thing. Okay. But on court, I will say this, that one thing you have to get used to is you cannot, you know how we taught to do an L cut and rip through?
Right.
You can't do that at all. It's an automatic travel. Or if you pump fake in one dribble, automatic. I don't care who it is, how many times people say it, it's an automatic travel. All Americans do it. All Americans do it, you know? So that's one thing, technically. Other than that, I would say remember what your reasons are that you're going over there to play. Know your why and stick to that. Because now that you're a professional, now that you're a pro, a lot of people, there's a lot of things, a lot of politics that plays in it that's involved with overseas basketball and just professional sports, period. As long as you can focus on your craft and knowing your reasons for being there, I mean, sky's the limit. You're gonna figure out the rest because you're smart. You know how to play the game and you know how to deal with people. But on the court, it's very important that you know what you're doing there. A lot of people can get caught up and just at the while it becomes a job, man. Right. Like dude, clock in, clock out. You know, that's what pro sports is. People come in, they get their work in, boom, I'm out. I gotta go. You know, I might have to go get kids. I might have to go do something. I got a girl. It's a lot of other stuff that's associated now with pro sports, and there's nobody to direct you. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's a difference between college and pros. There's no direction from anybody hanging over your shoulder telling you. Now you're just gonna get fined. You feel me? Like now they just gonna say we got to get him out of here, or we like him, let's keep him back. So that's why I say know your why and continue. You got to work on your craft every day, every day. You know, and hopefully you got some good vets, man. Hopefully you got some good vets that you can lean on. I was fortunate enough my rookie year that I had a vet that was in his mid-30s that I still stay in contact with to this day, like at least 2 times, 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? That really just gave me a lot of information on how to move in this game. You're going to come across those people. But shit, enjoy it and kill them dudes.
Also embrace it, man. Embrace the culture. Because you're going to be here for 9 months. Just embrace that, man. Like, go out there. I mean, go out
You
to
get
different
good Wi-Fi too.
restaurants. Yeah, good Wi-Fi. Go out to different restaurants. Try the food. You know, sometimes meet new people and stuff like that. I mean, just embrace it as a whole. Don't just go in there. Yes, like you said, go in there, know your why, but also be able to, you know, take a step away every now and then, and you know, do little certain things, maybe travel a little bit, stuff like that, but still come back knowing what you got to do, what you got in place. So, right, I'm saying embrace it for sure.
And it's gonna be different. That's gonna be a major culture shock. You going to Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
You going to the other side. Like bro, you gonna be looking like, listen here, man, you're gonna be looking like Thon Make over there. You're gonna be the ain't too many people of color over that joint.
They're gonna be staring at you a lot over there too.
Exactly. My friend Marcus McDuffie, he went to Wichita State. He was in Hungary last year, so I was asking him hella questions about how it was. He was just like, yeah, it's a little bit racist just because people not used to seeing, you know, people like you. But, you know, you're going to feel safe out there compared to, you know, just walking around the United States. So,
well, they going to be worshiping you because they don't see too many black people. You know, so when they do, they like the staring is like in American culture. The staring is like, yo, what you staring at me for?
Right.
More is now over there. Is more. It's. I can't say it's racist because it's only them, but it's more like they, you know, look at you like, yo, there go. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a person. There's a black person. You know, so that's gonna be interesting, and how you handle that, and how you know, and that's an interesting, just a cultural shift to get used to. Because literally, when I was in my first year, people would just be stopping and just looking at me. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that's the same way.
Wow.
It was the same way too. Like you just walking around, walking to practice sometimes, and they just be like, till you walk through the door, they'll just stop looking at you type thing.
Yeah. It got to a point where I was getting so frustrated, I just started bucking at people. Like, you just call. I'm for real. I'm like, dog, why you keep staring at me? You know what I'm saying? What you doing now? I'm used to it. I ain't tripping. Whatever. You can stare. Check this fit out then if you gonna stare at me. So but yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing how your career goes, especially this first year. You know, and please, you got to stay in contact. One thing we did a bad job of. And I can say this is we ain't stay in contact. Let these people know what you're doing. Keep posting it. Tell these Georgetown people to keep posting your stuff, man. Let them know what you're doing and how you involved with whatever you involved with. If it's on the court, off the court, let these people know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do that. Free ain't really do that. We just went in our own lane. Do that, man.
And one thing I can say from going to games and, you know, after games, talking to people and stuff like that, you are probably one of the most loved Warriors or on that team this year, because everybody loved what you did out there. Like, just loved how hard you played, how you kept the team together. Oh yeah, how you kept the team together, and you know, just your mindset and your heart that you had out there. Like, the people loved that over there. So that's one thing I can say. And speaking on, you know, keeping everybody together. So, yes, you know, we had some things going on at Georgetown, right?
Right.
You know, guys get kicked out or kicked off the team. The guy transfers. Another guy transfers at the end of the year. But, I mean, during that time, you being the leader on that team, what was your mindset? What was your mindset, and how did you try to get your guys to, you know, understand what y'all had to do, knowing that all those guys were gone?
Well, after first two was Josh and James. So after that, we went to Oklahoma State. We had a good opportunity. We had Oklahoma State and then went straight to Texas to play SMU. And we knew that, you know, my junior year, our non-conference schedule was weak, so we couldn't really build any momentum as far as our tournament resume goes. But this past year, you know, we had a lot of chances with, you know, Texas, Duke, and so on. So, you know, even though James and Josh had just left, we were just focused on our end of the season goal, which was making the tournament, and we knew we needed those 2 games. So, you know, Mac came out killing against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I remember
Killing.
that. Yeah,
I was like, and like I seen that in practice all the time. Like Mac's one of the most talented scorers I've seen, but it really wasn't shown in the game because we had a lot of pieces. But once he was free, it's crazy. So he set the tone, and then, you know, we beat them. It was a good team effort, and then SMU was just we just couldn't miss that game. So
Right.
I mean, it was more fun than, like, you know, tough. You know, like Coach Powell was saying, it gave a lot of other guys a lot of opportunity, like myself, Javon, Jamarco, a lot of guys that weren't, you know, getting a lot of touches during the games earlier in the season. So I mean, as a hooper, that's what you want. You know, you're sad to see 2 of your brothers go, but at the end of the day, like I said before, it is what it is, and life moves on. You guys just control what you can control.
So, and I wanted to ask you this, and now we talking about Coach Pat and all that. What was the difference? You had the pleasure, well, I want to say pleasure, but you had the opportunity to work with 2 head coaches.
Right.
You had 2 years with both, correct?
No, 1 with JT3. I was with Coach Pat.
You laughing, free laughing. So you had you had 1 with JT3, and you had 3 with Coach, right, Pat?
Yeah.
What's the differences? What did you see as the differences? And if Coach Pat was the head coach, would you have went directly to Georgetown still?
If he recruited me, I would say so. I would say yeah. I think the difference is obviously the 2 offenses. You know, Coach Pat was off NBA style, and JT3 with the Princeton offense. Me personally, it wasn't really too much of a difference because I played for, you know, Coach Hurley and then a lot of guys in my past, so I'm more of a coachable player. So I can play in any system, I feel like. But, you know, for you know, the average basketball player, it might be tougher than that. JT3, I feel as if, you know, off the court it's kind of hard to have a personable conversation with. I mean, it might be different for you guys. You guys played with him for 4 years, but I was only.
Go ahead. We feel you, bro. I just want to hear from your side.
It was kind of hard. You know, it didn't seem like he was really much of a people's person, but, you know, I didn't really commit to him to be a friend. I committed to him. I wanted him to be my coach. So, you know, he was a great coach at that point. And then Coach Pat was kind of easier. As my years went on, it was kind of easier for me to get, you know, personal with him and, you know, build a player-coach relationship with. And then, you know, when he first got the head coaching gig, you got to see it. Like, obviously he's been in the game for a minute, but it was still his first head coaching gig, so he's kind of like a rookie in all aspects. So it was when, you know, late game situation, it was kind of tough his first year, but me as a player, I saw his growth as a coach for those 3 years as well. So yeah, two different people, but, you know, 2 great basketball minds, which, you know, helped me build my game up throughout the 4 years.
Yeah, and I saw that growth in Coach Pat as well. By the time you're seeing this past season, man, I was saying, listen, the stuff that Coach got shot doing and how he has y'all playing, listen, he just needed some more time with the nucleus, and it was curtains. You know, y'all would have been a top 20 program, and I believe that this year y'all would have been a top 20 program if everything worked out. You know, y'all had the pieces for
injuries.
Yeah. So ask me, what happened? What's up with Mac, man? What was it? Why he wanted to leave?
It's crazy because, like, I'm not gonna say he went back on his word, but, you know, before he entered his name in the draft, he had right when the news dropped that he entered his name in the draft, he had texted us and was like, I'm just testing the waters, you know, I'm pretty sure I'll be back. So, I mean, this is my best guess because I had a conversation, but I didn't ask him, like, why'd you leave? I just, you know, wish him luck and everything. My best guess is that, you know, from the NBA eyes, he probably had to meet more of a point guard. So, you know, at Georgetown, we had Jalen coming in, we had Tyler Beard coming in at the time, and then Dante Harris as 3 point guards at the same time. And Matt the scorer. So I feel as if this upcoming year he would have been more of a scorer, even more so, being that he was a junior and, you know, more accustomed to what he needed to do. So I feel as if that he wasn't going to be able to play point guard on the team that they had coming in this year. So that might have been one of the reasons. And
he wanted to run the point.
I don't know if he wanted to, but this is my guess from from NBA.
I hope he don't want to run the point. He a flat out scorer. There's no reason.
But I mean, I don't know what he heard, what was told about him. I mean, told to him from like NBA scouts. You know, this
Right.
is my guess.
Right.
And then another thing, you know, with his foot injury, it was kind of some bad blood. Not with the coaching staff, more so with the trainer. And you know, it was a lot of drama going on with that. And I think that played a part as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering because, you know, obviously he made a statement saying it wasn't a family, or somebody made the statement. I don't know.
Mhm.
And so when he made this decision to leave, did it come as a surprise to you? Was that a surprise?
Yeah.
Kind of was like, oh yeah, I can kind of see that coming down the pipeline.
No, I was shocked just because, you know, I figured he was just going to test the waters. You know, with the new rule, you can test the waters and just come back and then have a junior year. I think it was kind of more surprising because, you know, I don't know if he has to sit out or not. I don't know what the waiver thing is with him, but I figured he didn't want to sit out a year. So I figured he was going to come back. So when I got the news that he was transferring, it was kind of, I was shocked when I got the notification, to be honest. But I
Right.
still, you know, I just hit him up and just wished him best of luck. So I knew that, you know, his goal was to make it to the NBA. So whatever he feels like he needs to do, by all means, go ahead and do it.
Sure, absolutely. I agree with that. And you know, so obviously Josh and I think the Alexander kid, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Galen.
Yeah, they had some issues on campus. So, you know, it is what it is with that. But I want to know, in terms of James, do you have any idea of what was his thought process, why he leave? Because that really threw me for a loop. You know what I'm saying?
Too. It was kind of weird, like how it happened, because James and Josh, the news came out together, but their situation was
Totally
completely
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Josh was kind of upset. We had just lost to UNCG, and you know, Josh was in the doghouse when the year started off. So I think coach was just trying to send him a message that, you know, he needed to pick his act up together and stuff like that. So his obviously his minutes were down when the year started. But you know, we could use him a lot in that UCNG game if he played more. And then with James,
I think he has the potential to. If he would have just stuck it out, I think he had the potential to be a first rounder, in my opinion.
100%.
I
And
think
even if you look at our team this year, even all the departures, if he was the one person that stayed, it would have been a huge
that's
difference.
a big difference for y'all.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then with James, I'm not really too sure. You know, I think with James, I feel like once he has his mind made up, his mind's made up. You know, he's very he believes in himself a lot, and you know, once he has his mind made up, his mind was made up. There's really no turning back for that. I don't know if it was like a player to coach issue, or you know, his family was in his ear. I don't know too much about it, but that came to a surprise too. But I mean, I think it was good. It was good for us, you know, with Terrell coming in, stepping in, and playing a big role in our success.
Shout out TA boy. Shout out to the man. That man came in and held it down more than anybody was expecting to him, and he hit big shots from day one. OK State game, he come in and hit big shots.
Forgot about that. Yeah,
from day one. I'm a point, so I gotta check out my guard, see what's going down. And first time he stepped on the court, bang. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, yeah, Shorty was ready. You know, so you know, I respect that.
Went to though, right?
Say that again.
I know what school he went to though, right?
Yeah, Central Florida. What are you talking about?
Math.
Central Florida.
I
respected Math. Much respected the Math.
Appreciate it.
No. So I want to ask this. This is I just randomly want to ask this, and you know, you are closer to it. We like old heads now. I'm 30. You know, in the game, this is my 10th year as a pro. I'm an old head now, G. Like I really am like. I got war wounds off of this. You feel me? So I'm different. But in your aspect, you closer to the age of your young kid, you know, young dude coming out. Do you think social media has a major role in some of these guys transferring, or some of these guys committing or not committing to schools?
100%.
100%. And in terms of what type of role do you think that plays in people making decisions?
Well, not transferring. I'll just say the high school kids. As a coach, when you're recruiting someone, it's just you got to sell your school. You like a marketing major. So well, if I'm selling to a 40-year-old woman, I'm selling a product. I got to put myself in her position. I got to put myself in her mind. So if you recruit in a school to a 17-year-old kid, I'm thinking to myself how I was 5 years ago.
Right.
You know, when I'm choosing a school, you know, obviously you focus on basketball, but you know, as a 17-year-old kid, you're drawn to other things. You're drawn to gear. You're drawn to social media. you know,
Fashion,
all that stuff.
music,
yeah, everything. So I feel like you gotta put that into. I don't know what the recruiting pitches are, but I feel like you gotta put that in the pitches as well. Georgetown. You look at Georgetown, we're Jordan school, and I can count on my hand the number of other Jordan schools in the country. So that should be a big deal. When I committed to Georgetown, I'm thinking we can wear retros in the game.
Hey, the only
You can
one.
wear 11s, 4s. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm hyped.
You're not the only one.
Hey, bro, we start the same thing, man. I was like, yo, I'm about to be. I'm on everything. They gonna see me. My kicks is about to be crazy.
I'm gonna get my Jordans, and then whatever Jordans I got, I'm gonna just wear it in the game anyway.
Fact.
Yeah. You thought, especially you see Iverson, he had the Concords on back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is where I need to be. You feel me? Like,
and like you get the Georgetown. It makes sense, it's only 4 or 5 Jordan schools, so we got.
Nah, it don't make sense. Give us some exclusives, dog. That don't make no sense to me, dog. I don't get it. Why I gotta wear Tony Kukoc?
You look at the practice gym; they got a whole wall of every number Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't touch them.
We should be touching those.
We should. I mean, we get one pair a year, but I feel as good.
So what should I get? What should I get out there? Like, what sneakers you
When I first stepped down, I got the 2s. I wasn't supposed to get them. I think there were seniors that graduated.
I get the 2s.
I got the 2s. Sophomore year. Oh man, we were supposed to get the 13s that year, and I was because the women's team got them.
Right.
That was my year when the transition between the coaches happened. So we never got 13s, but we were supposed to get 13s. After that, we got the 3s, and then this past year we got the 4s.
So why y'all ain't never want to bring up?
Oh, and the ones too. I forgot we got ones.
The
only number Jordan we got was the 11s, and we had to buy those. So
we bought them.
We got the cool gray 11s.
You had to buy them.
We bought them.
Had to buy them.
Bought them. We were in that. We played Memphis. Will Barton, Joe Jackson, other Barton, his brother, DJ Stevens. We in Memphis. I don't know why we in the mall. You know how we be on lockdown on the road. Ain't like you can really go anywhere. Yes. But for some reason, me, Free, and Jason, we in the mall.
Okay.
And the dude the day before, he was like, I'm like, yo, the cool grays come out tomorrow. We get to rap them. Anyway, we got him to give us the shoes and all that. And that was the only way we can wear some joints. And we snuck them joints on. You know how we go back in and out the locker room a couple times. Mm-hmm. Second time we come back out running out with them joints on. You can't say nothing now. You can't tell me to go back to the locker room now. It's
the
over.
Only person I seen wear retros was Pete. And that's when like towards the end of the season, he just put them on. I didn't say a word. I just looked at
Right. Yeah. Everybody be tight. If somebody has some retros on and you don't, you're like, yo, how you get that?
Mm-hmm. This is why I didn't like though, because you look at UNC play, obviously Jordan school. They some of them wearing retros during the game.
Yeah.
I'm like Coach Pat. We're joking. I'm like Coach Pat. Like I know you cool with Jordan. Like I don't know. I don't care what the Jordan brand say, but if you talk to Michael Jordan, he will be okay with us wearing retros. I'm
right.
Sure.
Right. See now, 2 things about that. First thing I say is we don't need to be wearing no Jordans if Michael Jordan took a national championship from us. I really don't agree with that. And he was, an arch enemy of Big Pat in the league too.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped him from getting some ring. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. Second thing, I do think that we should have some. I don't know if you with it. You probably might not be with it, but they should have the option of wearing Pat sneakers.
I would wear Jordans.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if we got some, if they look nice, they want our jerseys and they're comfortable. The biggest thing for me, if I'm playing again, I just want my shoes to be comfortable.
Right.
So I'll wear them. I mean, it'll be different because we'll be the only school wearing them. So that'll be actually now I think about it, I'll wear some exclusive, some PEs.
That's what I'm saying. We got the Pat Ewins on. What did they come out with some exclusive low top joints? He got the big kind of like Timberland joints right now, but
you
know what I'm saying. But if he came out,
they should let us design a pair.
You know what I'm saying? That make it unique. Guys would be like, yo, yeah, Georgetown, you get the finesse pair of these joints, you get to rock them on court. That would be a nice little incentive. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be tight, but I mean, how many people really try and rock the Pat Ewins?
That's true.
How you gonna get a kid to, like commit to Georgetown or like speaking off the gear, like who want to be like, okay, I want to wear some Ewing. That's the thing, because
you gotta be like a visionary, like you really want to be different, like.
Right.
But
It'll
now
be
they
easy to
come.
sell
Now
crack
if you
though.
come with, what if they finesse the line and come with some crazy colors and flavors and all that? Y'all gonna be like, oh yeah, these kind of hot. Ain't nobody else wearing it.
I'll wear it. Fuck it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I
I'm not
mean,
even saying that we got to be exclusively with PE and all that. I'm just saying that I think it should be an option. This is our head coach. Why can't we wear his? If they want to, what the big fellas want to wear? They want to be like Pat. They can't throw on no Ewins and some big old knee pads if they don't want to. You feel me?
the t-shirt too.
Yeah, the t-shirt, all that. Wristbands, the great wristbands.
Right. But I mean, biggest thing with your question, but I mean, regardless of what you sell to a kid, it's gonna be hard for someone to commit to a school, that's not consistently winning. So that's the biggest thing. So once they start turning the ship around, it'll be easier to get more top recruits, I feel like.
I'm gonna ask, this is the personal question. What's some of your most memorable games at Georgetown?
Freshman year, the UConn game, Syracuse game, which honestly I don't know if y'all remember that game. My freshman year, I'm still starting at this point. I think I lost my starting position like the 20th or 21st game. We're playing Syracuse, and I'm hyped. They showed us the Otto Porter game the night before. That's the reason we wore black that game. And I come out, I get a layup, first 2 points. And then I get taken out, and I didn't play the rest of the game. No, I have no reason, no clue why. And then he put me in last 4 minutes just to make sure we ain't turn the ball over. Yeah, and I still don't know to this day why.
He ain't never say nothing to you about it?
Didn't even ask. We won the game, so I ain't even care too much. But
see, listen, I'm gonna tell you how I was crazy about stuff like this. So my freshman year, I was hurt the whole year. We playing the last game. I come back is the last regular season game of the year, and it's to win the Big East regular season title.
Okay.
You remember this game, Free?
Mm-hmm.
We playing against Louisville.
Okay.
Right? Louisville got Earl Clark. They got Derek Character. They got David Padgett. They got Terrence Williams, Edgar Sosa. They had a mob. What's this? Jerry Smith. They had a mob. Andre McGee, all of them, right? It's my first game back. I broke my foot in preseason. Broke my foot, my fifth metatarsal in preseason. Came back, played 10 games. I got hurt in practice the day before our first regular season Big East game, right? Mm-hmm. So I come back, I'm healthy for the last regular season game, and he playing, right? So I've been working out, practicing. I'm hyped. I'm finally back on the court. I'm a freshman. Ooh, about to get a chip too. My first game back, dog, I ain't see the court the whole time. The whole game, I ain't touch the court. I told Coach Thompson, I wish he would say I didn't tell him. I said, Coach, if I ever dress again and you don't put me in the game, I promise you, I'm never coming back to this team again in my life.
That hurt, though. That dude hurt.
Like,
yeah.
And if you look at me, I'm holding a trophy. I'm like, yeah, all right. I'm like real tight. If you look at that picture, dog, I'm like tight. I'm like, yo, Coach sat me out here this whole time. And then he hit me. Coach be hitting you with the subliminal joints. So he'll hit me with this. I'm back on the stage working out the next day off some Tommy Shepard joint because I'm mad. I'm going at it, right? I'm going at it. And so I guess he heard that I'm in there. He called me into his office like, Chris, don't think what you're doing is going unnoticed and da-da-da-da. I know you want to play. I'm like, Coach, man, I told you already. If you're not going to do that. Next game, Villanova, I was a sixth man. First game in the Big East tournament, I was a sixth man. Came off the bench, hit a 3, first possession. Woo!
That's all it takes. So sometimes just speaking up. It works.
Yeah, man. Coach got me off the bench real quick. Right? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget that, man. True story. I was mad as I don't know. We won a title. I was hyped that we won a title, but I'm like, dog, I sat on the bench the whole game, son. At the crib. That hurts worse when you at the crib, too. It's like if you sit on the bench.
I know the crowd was crazy, too.
Oh, it was nuts in there.
Crazy.
Nuts in there.
So another thing I had to say, though, about the last question, the recruiting thing, this not really – you can't really control this, but the Big East not being on ESPN no more, I think that's a big deal, too.
That hurts.
Because if you look at mock drafts, or you look at mock drafts, there's not too many Big East players in the mock drafts. And I think that's just because, they just not on ESPN no more.
You won't see them that much.
But you know what? It wasn't a lot of dudes coming from for whatever reason, the Big East is not really respected on these draft boards. Because even when we was in school, Dudes, dog, me and Free talk about this all the time. Scotty Reynolds, I don't understand how he never got a chance to be in the league, son. Not one chance, like not 1 year at least. That's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's a Big East legend.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all through our career. Like guys in Big East don't, for whatever reason, they respect the ACC, they respect Big 10, Big 12, Pac-10. You know what I'm saying?
Or Kentucky, you know.
SEC, yeah, some Kentucky, you know, some SEC schools and all that stuff. But for whatever reason, and we always be having, and every year in college basketball, we had like 10 teams, 10 teams in the tournament every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the draft, who get drafted, none of these guys out of the Big East gets drafted.
Well, it make no sense.
And that was with the ESPN deal, which is crazy.
Yeah. I don't get it. I was thinking about that because I was talking to RJ when he was deciding between, because he had put his name in the draft before he transferred to UConn. Okay. And UConn was his dream school. But I'm telling him, like, bro, if you try and go to the league, you might have to rethink the Big East.
Yeah.
I don't know what the reason is, but there's not a lot of Big East names on the draft boards for whatever reason.
Nah, that's a great statement, bro. I don't know why, but it's always been like that. And it be dudes that be killing.
Yes.
You know?
Aside from like that Villanova when they had those 4 first round, but they had to win the chip for that. If they ain't win the chip, what's happening?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I never understood that. Especially the Scotty Reynolds one is still baffling me. Shame on everybody in the NBA for not putting that man in the league. I mean, like, he did everything you can possibly.
He did almost everything in college except for win a national championship.
Bro, this man been the best player on the court since he was 9 years old. He's been scoring 30, 40 points his whole life. And he never stopped.
Legend is actually crazy. It's real crazy. They said one time he couldn't play. He didn't play the first half of the game because he had to go to church. And in the second half, it had like 32 points.
Dog, he was my AAU teammate. Son. Mm-hmm. We playing the family from Detroit. They got Kalen Lucas, Raymar Morgan. They got the other Jamar, one of the Smith dude that went to Tennessee. I can't remember his name. They had a squad. Mm-hmm. Manny Harris was on that team. Deshaun Sims that went to Michigan. He was on that. They had a mob, right? It's tied up. Scotty got about 35 going into the fourth, right? True statement. And dogging, torching these dudes. Torching. We in the huddle. We had Boo Wins. We in the huddle. We drinking, you know what I'm saying? We all hyped because he's going. Now, he might have ran off like 10 straight, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. We in the huddle like, yeah, we about to get these dudes. This is go to the championship Boo Wins tournament. His mom is like, Scotty, come on. Scotty gets up. I got to go, y'all. Walks off. And he goes to church. And this is on Sunday. Now, you know this is on Sunday because in tournaments, the championship day, semifinals and all that is on Sunday. Right. So I'm like, what you talking about? Jesus needs you right here, right now, bro. Like, what are you talking about? And he would just get out of there and be gone, and we won't see him. He might show up to the championship game. He'll show up to the championship game, he like right before the game start or something like that. True statement, bro. And he would torch. As soon as he get back, torching.
I think some people just born like that. It have to be.
He was. And he used to give us fits in college, too.
Yeah. Watch.
I ain't gonna lie.
He was one of my favorite college players when he was at Nova.
Question between him, Johnny Flynn. Oh my God, that was a nightmare to guard him. And then another dude that was tough was he didn't stay long though, but he was tough. Was Mike Rosario. Mike Rosario was
St. Anne's.
Oh yeah, he went to St. Anne's.
Yeah,
he was a problem. He was a problem.
Well, he went to Rutgers and then Florida. Yeah,
and he went to Florida. Yeah, he was tough. I understand why he left Rutgers because he wasn't going.
Yeah,
but it was too heavy in the Big East at that time to make really any noise at Rutgers. Like it was too heavy. Like
yeah, he shouldn't have went there. I think that's a lot. That's a big thing too with Jersey. Like I feel when you were saying earlier about not a lot of pros, but they all overseas. Like just choosing the wrong college. You know.
Yeah.
It's wasting like their draft potential at the wrong school. Like KA should have been a one and done. Kyle Anderson,
but he went to UCLA, right?
Yeah, so he was a 2 and through, but you know they had him playing out of position the first year. But I think word around Jersey was he was actually gonna go to Senior Hall his first year. He wanted to stay home.
Why y'all want to stay home, man? Imagine if y'all all stay home.
I mean, truthfully, if I was talking over Miles, I probably would have ended at Senior Hall, but I committed before him, and he wanted to go to UConn, I think, too, because I think that was his dream school. But he wasn't mentioning Senior Hall to me at all. So when he came into senior hall, it was a surprise to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, look, this is the final question, man. We want to take up your time. Appreciate you, man. It's been great. Just great insight. Just some great convo. I just want to ask, if you had to do it all over again, would Georgetown be the selection?
Honest here. Be honest.
Honestly, if I'm looking at the schools that I had, and if I knew Miles was going to senior hall, I probably would have went with him. But
That's your man.
that's my man's, yeah. I think it would have been a crazy duo because they probably wouldn't have recruited Quincy McKnight because he came in, like he transferred him. I was like a junior. So it would have been me and him after, Desi, Kadeem, and Andrew Delgado all graduated. That would have been crazy. I think about that a lot. But since I committed before him and I was just deciding from my schools, it was either senior hall or Georgetown for sure.
But none of them Ivy League joints?
No, I don't want to make my parents pay. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel that.
That's the biggest thing. But if it was free, I probably would have chose Harvard before Georgetown even came in.
I would have chose Harvard too. No disrespect to Georgetown. We love y'all. I'm just saying it's Harvard, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Would have torched the Ivy League.
Right. You would have ran it up. Boy, you'd have been the Ivy League Player of the Year.
Me, Bryce.
Body bags.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but anyway, man, we appreciate you, dog, chiming in. I look forward to following your career. Yep. We still hooping, so we got to get in the gym. 3-on-1 hoop no more, but you hooping, so me and you got to get in the gym and work, man.
I'll let y'all know when I'm back in the DMV. I should be back before I go to Hungary, but if not, the next summer for sure.
Definitely. And look, so next summer, we in the TBT.
I was about to ask.
Is
that going to be around the time of like pre-draft and summer league or after that?
I think it's going to be after it.
Right before, I want to say right before summer league.
Okay.
Or maybe right after summer league. Maybe.
Yeah, nah, it's usually right before because dudes be leaving or it's right kind of in the time. Either way, man, if you can make it, look. Yeah, we actually are having tryouts, my nigga. So if you're not, so everybody got to try out.
That makes sense. That makes sense for sure.
We try to get this bag, dog.
Yeah, I mean the team. It can't be the team got to fit. It can't be like tense. Yeah, I feel that.
All right, so definitely, man. So, but stay in touch with us. Let us know what you're doing, man. And whenever you get back in town, we here.
So I appreciate this. Thank y'all.
Yep, appreciate it, bro.